What is in a word? Letters, I guess. That's right. That is correct, and also sort of not really what I'm asking. It depends on the word, I guess. What's in a word if the word is good? Love, together, breathe, delicious. What's in a word if the word is bad? Heartache, lonely, choke, delicious. Words are not dumb or weak. Words make things. Words do things. I love you. I quit. I forgive you. I pronounce you husband and wife. The right word spoken at the right moment by the right person in the right way, man, can heal the world. The wrong word spoken at the wrong moment by the wrong person in the wrong way can break it all over again. Words, they define concepts, they tell stories, they reveal hope and pain. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but how does it go? Wrong. I mean right, but wrong. Words will break my heart. You know, the longest English word, at least that you'll find in any English dictionary, is pneumal ultramicroscopic silicovolcaniconiosis. Yes, that's a real word. Yes, I practiced it a lot of times. It's actually a word that refers to a lung disease that is contracted from the inhalation of very fine silica particles, specifically from a volcano. No is a much shorter word and also a more useful one. Each morning when we regather in here together, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at a single word, and we don't have a whole lot of time, so please pay attention. The word for today is regeneration. A lot of syllables in this one. I would like for you, if you would, to say the word regeneration. Very well done. Would you do it again? And everybody, one last time. Thank you. If I may, please allow me to explain this word. You probably recognize in the word regeneration, the word generation, which typically makes us think of a group of people who were born around the same time. I mean, you know how it is, generally speaking. If you're having a bad day, you can get online to make fun of somebody from another generation, and you'll feel better about yourself for a while. Our English word generate actually comes from the Latin word generatio, which means bring to life or procreate. This just got more interesting. If you add the prefix re, you kind of see what you get. Regenerate means bring to life again. That's the meaning of the word. Again, regenerate means bring to life again. Okay, grammar lesson over. Anyone still awake? I realize that you didn't get out of bed this morning for a grammar lesson. Actually, why did you get out of bed this morning? I like you guys. You have answers. I can't hear you super well, but I would imagine I could make out some of the answers. Like at some level, part of the answer is you're at move, it's what you do. And there are all sorts of many reasons. There's a schedule, your friends are getting up, your leaders told you to, you want to eat, whatever, great. But if you keep digging deeper, why do any of it? Why do anything at all? Why care? What are you looking for? What do you want? What do you need? These are good questions, even for the morning. I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what you think you need, but if somebody offers you something that you don't think you need, you're probably not going to care. You ever been in these situations? Here's a map to Kentucky. Here's the answer to yesterday's New York Times crossword puzzle. Here's a list of my grandparents' middle names. Like, what? Why are you giving me these things? I don't care. On the other hand, if it's something you need, it's okay you didn't bring a Bible. I actually have an extra one. Here's my handle, DM me. Here's a breath mint, trust me. I told you last night that Jesus is what you want. I still think that, by the way. I haven't changed my mind overnight. But I need to pull back the curtain just a little bit further this morning. Jesus is who you need. So I'm in a little bit of a weird situation. I'm offering you something you need, but I'm not sure if you know how deeply you need it. It's sort of like if it were 2019 and I were trying to make money selling one-shot long-term COVID vaccinations. I'd be like, no, trust me, you're really gonna wish you took me up on this. The effectiveness rate of my medicine doesn't matter if no one knows they're sick. The promise of new life is undesirable if you don't know you're dead. Nicodemus, man, what an interesting guy. I think it's probably fair, given all that we know, to say he was a pretty good person, which is why we need to see clearly at this point just how far he was from Jesus at this particular part of his story. See, because Christianity is sort of like a religion, it's easy to assume that it's about going from being a bad person to being a good person. And not exactly. I mean, yes, at some level that's true, but at a deeper level, Christianity is not about making bad people good. It's about bringing dead people back to life. The Apostle John tells us this in story form, and his friend, the Apostle Paul, actually lays it out for us in a bit more detail. I'm thinking about what Paul says in his letter called Ephesians, written to a group of Christians living in Ephesus. Ephesians chapter 2, 1 through 3. You can write it down. I'm going to read it to you. Here's what he says. He says, "As for you, you were dead in your transgressions and sins, in which you used to live when you followed the ways of this world and of the ruler of the kingdom of the air, the spirit who is now at work in those who are disobedient. All of us also lived among them at one time, gratifying the cravings of our flesh and following its desires and thoughts. Like the rest, we were by nature deserving of wrath." And there's a lot in there, but we're just going to focus on the word dead. It's like this. You were made to live. You were made to flourish. You were made to thrive, to experience joy and peace and love. And you were designed like this by God, who actually created you to receive these things, to work properly in relationship to him. It's like you're an appliance and he's the electrical outlet. Or maybe better, it's like you're an engine and he's the gasoline. Or even better, it's like you're a plant and he's the soil and sun and water. Or better still, it's like you're a person and he is life. Pick whatever metaphor you want, or no metaphor at all. Just get the point. When you sin, when you know what God wants from you, but you do something else, when you trespass beyond his boundaries, when you ignore his voice, quiet though it may be, you don't move closer to happiness. You actually separate yourself from the source of life. You choose death. So here we are with a problem. The worst of all possible problems, in fact. Spiritual death. I mean, if you were spiritually wounded, you could probably find a way to stop the bleeding, maybe stitch yourself up or something, you know? If you were spiritually injured, at the very least you can call for help. But if you're spiritually dead, I mean, you can try to play nice or be religious or convince people that you're a good person or whatever, but you're no more than a spiritual mortuary makeup artist. You know what that is, right? It's the person they bring in with their makeup kits to try to make corpses look as alive as possible. It's hard work because, well, they're still dead. And it doesn't work for the soul either. Dead people cannot bring themselves back to life. Nicodemus. You know, he really didn't understand what Jesus was saying. It's not entirely his fault, though. It's the words again. Jerron dropped this for you as a little hint. I don't know if you caught it, but the word again, as in the phrase born again, can also mean from above. And it's likely that this is actually what Jesus means. If you want to be lifted up, you got to be born from above. Ephesians chapter 2, verses 1 through 3 is bleak. If only it was about somebody else. Good thing Paul didn't stop there. Ephesians 2, 4 and 5. "But because of his great love for us, God, who is rich in mercy, made us alive with Christ, even when we were dead in transgressions. It is by grace you have been saved." Doesn't that sound like regeneration? Doesn't that sound like something you want? Isn't that something you need?